Close your eyes for a moment. Now open them. In that instant, your brain just performed a miracle so incredible, so seamless, that you didn't even notice it happen. It created an entire world. Your world. The colors, shapes, sounds, and sensations you're experiencing right now aren't just being passively received by your brain. They're being actively constructed, piece by piece, in an intricate dance of perception and creation that never stops, not even for a second. What you think of as reality, the solid, unchanging world around you, is actually more like a waking dream, a constantly updated simulation created by the most sophisticated supercomputer known to exist, your brain. In the next few minutes, I'm going to take you on a journey that will fundamentally change how you understand your own experience of reality. We'll explore the invisible magic show happening inside your head every moment of every day, and once you see it, you'll never look at the world quite the same way again. Let's start with a simple truth that might shake your understanding of reality. Right now, at this very moment, what you're seeing isn't actually what's in front of you. It's what your brain thinks is in front of you based on its best guess. And here's the really mind-bending part. This guess was made a fraction of a second ago. Your brain is constantly running a sophisticated prediction algorithm, creating a model of reality before sensory information even reaches your consciousness. When you reach for a cup of coffee, your brain has already predicted its weight, temperature, and position in space before your fingers make contact. When you're walking down a street, your brain is predicting what's around each corner, what the ground will feel like under your feet, and how far away each object is. This predictive process is so fundamental to how we experience reality that when it goes wrong, the results can be startling. Have you ever mistaken a coat hanging in a dark room for a person? That's your brain's prediction system at work, filling in limited sensory data with its best guess based on previous experiences. The reason such mistakes can be so convincing is that your brain isn't just making a simple error. It's literally creating the experience of seeing a person, complete with all the associated details. But this deception goes even deeper. Consider your visual field, what you think you're seeing right now. You probably feel like you're seeing everything in front of you in perfect detail, in full color, all at once. But this is perhaps the greatest illusion of all. In reality, you only see high-resolution detail in a tiny area about the size of your thumbnail held at arm's length. Everything else in your visual field is actually being filled in by your brain based on memory, expectation, and a rough sketch of peripheral information. Think back to your childhood home. The image that just appeared in your mind. How much of it is accurate memory, and how much has been constructed by your brain? The truth is, every time you recall a memory, your brain isn't accessing a perfect recording. It's creating a new version of that memory, influenced by everything that's happened since then. This process of reality construction isn't limited to memories. It's happening right now, in real time, with everything you experience. Let's explore a scenario that demonstrates this perfectly. Imagine walking into a coffee shop. The aroma of freshly ground beans hits your nose, the sound of the espresso machine fills your ears, and you see steam rising from cups on the counter. Simple enough, right? But here's what's actually happening. Your brain is taking fragments of sensory information, certain molecules detected by your nose, pressure waves hitting your eardrums, photons striking your retinas, and weaving them together into a coherent experience. The smell you perceive isn't just about the chemical composition of coffee. It's influenced by your past experiences with coffee, your current level of hunger, even the visual cues your brain is receiving. The construction of reality by your brain is a process so complex that it makes the most advanced computer systems look primitive in comparison. Every second, your brain is processing an estimated 11 million bits of sensory information, yet you're only consciously aware of about 40 bits. This massive filtering and construction process happens automatically, without any conscious effort on your part. Consider what happens when you're having a conversation in a crowded restaurant. Your brain performs an incredible feat known as the cocktail party effect. From the cacophony of sounds, dishes clattering, multiple conversations, music playing, chairs scraping, your brain constructs a reality where you can focus on a single voice while relegating everything else to background noise. But that background noise isn't gone. It's being actively monitored by your brain, which will immediately alert you if something important happens, like someone calling your name from across the room. This construction process becomes even more fascinating when we consider how your brain handles time. You might think you're experiencing events as they happen, but there's actually a slight delay, about half a second, between something occurring and your conscious awareness of it. During this delay, your brain is busy constructing your experience, filling in gaps, and making sure everything fits with your existing model of reality. Now let's dive deeper into how your brain constructs your personal history. Every memory you have is essentially a recreation, assembled on demand when you need to recall it. This isn't a bug in the system. It's a feature that allows your brain to update memories with new information and maintain a coherent narrative of your life. Think about your first day at your current job or your last birthday celebration. The memory that just surfaced isn't a perfect recording. It's a construction, influenced by everything that's happened since then, your current emotional state, and even the context in which you're remembering it. If you were to write down every detail of that memory right now, and then do the same thing a year from now, you'd find surprising differences between the two versions. This construction process extends beyond individual memories to your entire sense of self. The person you think you are, your personality, your beliefs, your preferences, is itself a construction of your brain, constantly being updated and revised. This is why you can feel like a different person when you're with different groups of people, or why your personality can seem to change in different contexts. The way your brain constructs sensory experience is perhaps one of the most remarkable aspects of this whole process. What we think of as our five senses are actually much more complex and interconnected than most people realize. Your brain doesn't process each sense separately and then combine them. Instead, it creates a unified experience from the very beginning. Take the simple experience of biting into an apple. You might think the crunch you hear is coming from your ears, the sweetness from your tongue, and the texture from your sense of touch. But in reality, your brain is creating a single unified experience from all these inputs. This becomes clear when we look at phenomena like the McGurk effect, where what you see someone's lips doing can literally change what you hear them saying, or the fact that food tastes different when you have a cold. Your brain's construction of taste relies heavily on smell. This sensory construction goes even further. The color red that you see isn't actually a property of the object you're looking at. It's your brain's interpretation of certain wavelengths of light. The same goes for every other color you experience. In fact, there's no such thing as color in the physical world. There are only different wavelengths of electromagnetic radiation. Color exists only in the reality your brain constructs. What we think of as emotions aren't simple reactions. They're sophisticated constructions of our brain that combine physical sensations, cognitive interpretations, and learned responses. When you feel afraid, your brain isn't just responding to danger. It's creating a complete experience that includes physical changes like increased heart rate, mental shifts like heightened attention, and behavioral responses like the urge to flee. Think about the last time you felt intensely happy or deeply sad. What you experienced wasn't just a feeling. It was a complete reality constructed by your brain. This construction includes not just the emotion itself, but how you interpreted your surroundings, what memories became more accessible, and even how you perceive time. When you're happy, time seems to fly by, colors appear brighter, and the world seems full of possibilities. When you're sad, Time drags, colors seem muted, and the world appears more threatening. This emotional construction of reality is so powerful that it can literally change how you perceive physical sensations. Studies have shown that people experiencing sadness will rate physical weights as heavier than people in a neutral emotional state. The saying, "carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders," isn't just a metaphor. It's a description of how our brain constructs our physical reality based on our emotional state. Perhaps the most fascinating aspect of your brain's reality-creating power is how it constructs social reality, money, laws, nations, social status. These aren't physical properties of the universe like gravity or light. They exist because our brains collectively agree they exist, and yet they're as real as anything else in our experience. Consider something as simple as a piece of paper with numbers and symbols printed on it, what we call money. Its physical properties haven't changed, but your brain constructs it as something valuable, something worth trading hours of your life for. This construction is so powerful that it can literally change how you perceive the physical world. Studies have shown that people perceive coins as larger than they actually are when they're experiencing financial scarcity. This social construction extends to how we perceive other people. When you look at someone, you don't just see their physical appearance. Your brain constructs an entire social reality around them, based on their clothes, posture, way of speaking, and countless other cues. This construction includes assumptions about their personality, social status, intentions, and even their past and future. Language isn't just a tool for describing reality. It's one of the primary means through which your brain constructs reality. The words you know and use literally shape what you can perceive and experience. For example, some cultures have words for emotional states that don't exist in English. And research suggests that people from these cultures can actually experience these unique emotional states because they have words for them. This linguistic construction of reality goes beyond emotion. Studies have shown that the language you speak can influence how you perceive color, time, and space. For instance, some indigenous cultures don't have words for absolute directions like left and right, instead using cardinal directions like north and south. People from these cultures actually construct their spatial reality differently. They always know which way is north, something that seems almost impossible to those of us who grew up with left-right orientation. Think about how different the world appears when you're learning a new language. As you acquire new words and concepts, you're literally expanding the reality your brain can construct. This is why bilingual people often report feeling like slightly different people when speaking different languages. They're accessing different reality construction tools. Understanding that your brain constructs reality isn't about discovering that nothing is real. It's about realizing that reality is more flexible and malleable than you might have thought. This knowledge gives you the power to influence how your brain constructs your experience of reality. Consider the placebo effect. It's not just about fooling yourself into feeling better. When you take a placebo believing it's medicine, your brain literally constructs a reality where healing is more likely to occur. This isn't magic. It's your brain using its reality construction machinery in a way that promotes actual physical changes in your body. The same principle applies to how you perceive challenges and opportunities. When you understand that your brain is constructing your experience of these situations, you can begin to influence this construction. A difficult task can be constructed as either an overwhelming obstacle or an exciting challenge, and this construction will influence not just how you feel about it, but your actual performance and likelihood of success. Understanding how your brain constructs reality has profound implications for everyday life. Let's explore some ways you can use this knowledge to enhance your experience of reality. First, consider how this understanding can transform your relationship with stress and anxiety. When you feel overwhelmed, remember that this feeling isn't a direct reflection of reality. It's your brain's construction based on how it's interpreting the situation. By recognizing this, you can begin to influence this construction, perhaps by focusing on aspects of the situation that suggest capability rather than threat. This understanding can also revolutionize how you approach learning and skill development. When you recognize that your brain's construction of reality includes your beliefs about what you can and can't do, you can begin to challenge and change these constructions. The belief that you can't draw or aren't good at math isn't an objective reality. It's a construction that can be modified. Even your experience of physical sensations can be influenced by this understanding. Chronic pain researchers have found that understanding pain as a construction of the brain, rather than a direct reflection of tissue damage, can actually help people manage their pain more effectively. In relationships, recognizing that each person's brain is constructing a slightly different version of reality can lead to more empathy and better communication. Instead of assuming others see things exactly as you do, you can become curious about how their brain is constructing their experience. As we wrap up this exploration of how your brain constructs reality, you might be wondering, if my brain is constructing everything I experience, what does this mean for my life? Should I trust anything I experience? The answer isn't that nothing is real, or that you can't trust your experiences. Instead, this understanding offers something far more valuable: the recognition that while you can't always choose what happens to you, you have more influence over your experience of reality than you might have thought. Your brain will continue to construct your reality. That's its job. But now that you understand this process, you can become a more active participant in it. You can question your assumptions, challenge your interpretations, and gradually learn to construct a reality that serves you better. Remember, your brain isn't just passively receiving reality, it's actively creating it. And now that you know this, you'll never experience reality quite the same way again. If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mind-expanding content, and let us know in the comments. How will this knowledge change how you experience your reality?